So, have you ever plugged a new device into your TV, turned it on, and just, stared at a completely blank, no signal screen?
Oh, yeah. Literally the worst.
Right. And it's usually not a bad cable causing that. It's actually a failed digital handshake. Your devices are, well, they're constantly negotiating behind the scenes.
Checking copyright protections, asking what resolutions the screen can handle, all that stuff.
Exactly. Welcome to today's deep dive. Today we're looking at a spec sheet for a piece of heavy-duty AV equipment from HDTVSupply.
Right. The A-Neuvideo ANI-42HDFIX 4x2 HDMI matrix switcher, which is quite a mouthful.
It really is. But our mission today is to demystify all that alphabet soup of AV jargon,
Yeah.
We want to figure out what a matrix switcher actually does under the hood.
And why it might be the ultimate solution if you're struggling with a complicated multi-screen setup. Because the more devices you add, like gaming consoles, sound systems, the more chaotic those invisible negotiations become.
It goes from a simple connection to just a massive data collision.
Yeah. And to understand the value here, we really have to separate a true matrix switcher from just a standard HDMI splitter.
Oh, for sure. Because a cheap splitter just forces every connected screen to accept the exact same signal.
Right, which causes major issues. Say you have a brand new 4K display in the living room, but you want to run a line to an older 1080p TV in the kitchen.
The source device totally panics.
It does. It reads the display data from both TVs, defaults to the lowest common denominator, and suddenly your expensive 4K TV gets downgraded to 1080p.
Which is incredibly frustrating. But this A-Neuvideo unit is a true 4x2 matrix, so it takes 4 separate 4K inputs and routes them independently to 2 outputs.
And both of those support ultra-crisp 4K resolution at 60 Hz. But the crucial mechanism here, the real magic, is the individual output scaling.
Right, it doesn't just pass the signal along, it actively processes. It's
Yeah.
almost like a traffic cop standing at a fork in the road.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Like if a massive semi-truck, which represents your 4K video signal, needs to go down a narrow 1080p alleyway, the cop doesn't block the truck.
Right.
The switcher actively drops pixels and interpolates the data, mathematically shrinking that truck down to fit the alleyway, while simultaneously sending the full-sized 4K truck down the main highway to your new TV.
That is a great way to visualize it. It calculates that downscaling frame by frame. So both screens display their native resolution perfectly without, interfering with each other.
But video is only half the problem, right? Because HDMI carries audio embedded right alongside that video data.
Yes, it does.
And when you start splitting and routing video to different rooms, separating the sound and keeping it perfectly timed becomes just an absolute nightmare.
It's awful. But that is where dedicated audio extraction comes in. This matrix pulls the audio stream out of the HDMI signal before it ever reaches the television.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it pulls it out via analog and optical Toslink. It even supports ARC, the audio return channel, on that Toslink port.
And just to clarify the jargon for you listening, Toslink is that specific cable with the little red laser light inside?
Yep, the fiber optic one.
Right. It uses fiber optics to send a pure digital audio signal directly to your amplifier, completely bypassing the TV's usually terrible internal audio processing.
Exactly. You isolate the audio so your dedicated sound system can decode it cleanly.
Okay, so I get the audio routing, but looking at the control side of the spec sheet, I have to push back a little bit.
Oh, how so?
Well, it lists standard IR remotes, which makes total sense. But then it includes a Web-GUI for LAN control and an RS-232 port.
Ah, right.
RS-232 is a serial port standard from the 1960s. Why does an everyday user need archaic enterprise IT connections just to watch a movie in their living room?
It sounds like overkill, I know. But those connections are the backbone of reliable automation. Think about infrared remotes. They're essentially dumb.
Because they just blindly blast a light signal into the room and hope the TV sees it.
Precisely. RS-232 and LAN control are hardwired two-way communication protocols.
Meaning the matrix switcher actually receives confirmation that the TV is powered on rather than just guessing.
Yes. That two-way communication enables the switcher to manage the power state of your whole system. It detects a video signal from your console turning on, and the matrix automatically sends direct hardwired commands to wake up the display, switch inputs, fire up the sound system.
Wow. So you never have to hunt for 5 different remotes just to get the sound and picture to sync up.
However, it delivers the actual plug-and-play experience we always expected from HDMI.
That's incredible. And whether you are building an elaborate home theater or setting up screens for a small business, this device really acts as the brain of the operation.
And at a current price of around $239, which is down from $359, by the way, and backed by a 3-year warranty, it's a highly accessible piece of pro-level gear.
It handles all those complex digital handshakes, so you never have to think about them. And as our devices get smarter, it really makes you wonder, what other daily friction points in your home or office could be eliminated by simply automating the handshakes between your technology.
Just waiting for the right brain to get them talking to each other.
Yeah, exactly. Keep an eye out for those bottlenecks the next time your technology refuses to cooperate.